You have been an advocate for so many people on so many different levels, and especially when it comes to mental health. Why was that important for you when you came into this world of acting to be able to do that?
It was never intentional.
It wasn't?
No, it wasn't something that, you know, when you sit down, you're like, what do I want to stand for? It was something that was just part of my life, depression and anxiety. It was something I've been kind of surrounded by and living with for a decade now. And it's never, you know, my parents never taught me to be ashamed of it or that I needed to hide it. And I think the more we talk about it, the less alone we feel.
You've gone further with it. You've written down your journey because you're releasing a book in May, a book of poems called Swimming Lessons, which I think is absolutely a beautiful name.
Thanks.
What will readers get out of your poems?
I hope, you know, I turned to poetry when I was experiencing pretty deep depression when I was 16. It was always just something I used as a form of therapy and just a way of getting my thoughts out on paper.
What was happening when you were 16?
I moved from Cleveland, Ohio, where I was born, to North Carolina, where my dad got a new job. So I had to basically leave all my friends and behind and kind of start fresh. And it was very depressing and isolating, and I was desperately wanting to be an actor, desperately trying to make it in that field and that career. I moved to LA when I didn't have any money, I didn't have any friends. I lived in a house with 6 people. It was miserable, very miserable to be honest. And after a while I had to go home because I was physically sick from depression, and there was a day when I was breathing into a paper bag having a panic attack. And so I went home and I went back to therapy and I went back to a job as a sales associate and saved up like $1,200, nothing, and then moved back to LA and stayed on my friend's floor.
And then Riverdale comes along, you know, just this little show. Season 4,
I know.
Betty is back. You live in Vancouver, honorary Canadian.
Right.
What does that show mean to you and the friends you made on that show?
I never would have thought, you know, I really was just this girl in LA. After each callback was like, oh my God, like I'm getting closer to this. What, you know, what's gonna happen? And suddenly 4 years later, I have the most amazing friends and a job, you know, a job as an actor. What's happening? Have you heard from Mom?
No. Tonight makes 5 days without contact. She's never been MIA longer than 4.
On top of that too, I mean, you get to work with Jennifer Lopez on Hustlers.
When I first got the script and it was Jennifer Lopez and Constance Wu attached, I was like, okay, you know, what do they want with me?
The game is rigged, and it does not reward people who play by the rules. It's like robbing a bank, except you get the keys. Are you in?
I was so stoked and so just honored that I was even thought of for something so cool, that someone was able to see outside of Betty Cooper for even a second, you know, and kind of take a chance on me.
Are you happy?
That's a great question. I'm day by day, you know? I would love to say, yeah, I'm happy. Truth is, that's not really the answer. That's not how I feel. It's almost, I have really beautiful days and beautiful moments, and I'm incredibly grateful, but also depression is very much something that is still living with me and existing with me as I go on this journey, and something that I'm still trying to, you know, navigate through. So I'm trying.